by Giles Andreae and Guy Parker Reese. Gerald was a tall giraffe whose neck was long and slim, but his knees were awfully crooked and his legs were rather thin. He was very good at standing still and munching shoots off trees, but when he tried to run around, he buckled at the knees. Now, every year in Africa, they hold the jungle dance, where every single animal turns up to skip and prance. And this year, when the day arrived, poor Gerald felt so sad, because when it came to dancing, he was really very bad. The warthogs started waltzing, and the rhinos rock and rolled. The lions danced a tango that was elegant and bold. The chimps all did the cha-cha with a very Latin feel. And 8 baboons then teamed up for a splendid Scottish reel. Gerald swallowed bravely as he walked toward the floor. But the lions saw him coming, and they soon began to roar. "Hey, look at clumsy Gerald," the animals all sneered. "Giraffes can't dance, you silly fool. Oh, Gerald, you're so weird." Gerald simply froze up. He was rooted to the spot. "They're right," he thought. "I'm useless. Oh, I feel like such a clot." So he crept off from the dance floor, and he started walking home. He never felt so sad before, so sad and so alone. Then he found a little clearing, and he looked up to the sky. "The moon can be so beautiful," he whispered with a sigh. "Excuse me," coughed a cricket, who'd seen Gerald earlier on, "but sometimes when you're different, you just need a different song. Listen to the swaying grass and listen to the trees. To me, the sweetest music is those branches in the breeze. So imagine that the lovely moon is playing just for you. Everything makes music if you really want it to." With that, the cricket smiled and picked up his violin. Then Gerald felt his body do the most amazing thing. His hooves have started shuffling, making circles on the ground. His neck was gently swaying, and his tail was swishing around. He threw his arms out sideways, and he swung them everywhere. Then he did a backward somersault and leapt up in the air. Gerald felt so wonderful. His mouth was open wide. "I'm dancing! Yes, I'm dancing! I'm dancing!" Gerald cried. Then, one by one, each animal who had been there at the dance arrived while Gerald boogied on and watched him, quite entranced. They shouted, "It's a miracle! We must be in a dream! Gerald's the best dancer that we've ever seen! How did you learn to dance like that? Please, Gerald, tell us how!" But Gerald simply twirled around and finished with a bow. Then he raised his head and looked up at the moon and stars above. "We all can dance," he said, "when we find music that we love."
Hey friends, welcome back to the Art Room with Mrs. Nolte. Today's project is based on the book Giraffes Can't Dance by Giles Andreae and Guy Parker Reese. For today's project, you are going to need a piece of white paper, a pencil, a marker, and some crayons. We are going to start by drawing a U shape on its side. This is going to be the side of his head for the giraffe. We're going to add 2 little lines at the top for one of his little horns. You know, the giraffes have those little horns at the top of their head. We're going to make a little curved line at the top of that, kind of like a little muffin top. we're going to add 2 more parallel lines and another little curved muffin top for that horn. So then we have 2 horns. We're going to add a small line for the back of its head, and then we're going to draw an ear. And the ear shape kind of almost looks like a leaf. We're going to come out over like 3 lines of a square, and we're going to leave the center open between the U shape and the little leaf shape for the ear so that we have a place for the neck. I'm going to add a couple of eyes and a little mouth and 2 little lines for his nose. And you can draw your eyes however you want. I have my eyes closed on my little giraffe. Next, we're going to draw a curved line down, kind of long. This is for his neck. And then we're going to add a parallel line to it, another curved line coming from the bottom of the ear and coming straight down. So giraffes have a nice long neck, so we just created a long neck. Now we want to add a body to the bottom of the neck. This is going to be an oval shape. We're going to come around and attach it on either side of the neck. So now we have a nice round body for our giraffe. Time to add some legs. This is where we're going to really show the movement in our giraffe. So we're going to draw a curved line. This is the top of his thigh. And I have a picture here in the book. So we're talking about the thigh right there. So we're making that curved line, and then we're going to make the bottom part of the leg. And because this illustration is supposed to look like there's a lot of movement, it doesn't look completely realistic of how a giraffe might move, but there is a lot of curves and a lot of energy in this drawing. So I added a second curved line at the bottom of the body, and then a straight line down. Down by the bottom of their legs, they have a little ankle that protrudes. So I'm going to add 2 humps and a hoof. Now I'm going to make the second leg. This is again another curved line, then a straight line coming off of it. It almost looks like a V shape. I'm going to make the little ankle. I'm going to put a second curved line that's parallel to the first one. That's the top part of his leg. And then a straight line coming down with a little ankle on it, and then kind of a little triangle for a hoof. Well, like a square triangle, something with a little bit of a tapered end to it. I'm going to color in my hoofs. I didn't actually give myself enough room on this paper, so it's a little bit tighter than I would have probably liked. But there are my 2 legs. So it's 2 curved lines and then 2 kind of straight lines. And then an ankle and a hoof. So now I'm going to add some arms for my giraffe. The arms are going to come straight out. So 2 parallel lines kind of towards the base of the neck. And then I'm going to draw 2 more parallel lines coming off of it with, again, an ankle and a hoof. So it almost looks like 2 V's on top of each other. I'm going to put my second arm coming off the other side of the body, but you could really put them on the same side of the body. It's really up to you. I'm going to do 2 parallel lines, 2 straight, almost, again, looks like a V with a little ankle and then a triangle on the end. And then I'm going to add a tail. So 2 parallel lines that taper as you get down to the bottom. And I'm going to put a zigzag line at the bottom because giraffes have fluffy tails right at the end. The tip of their tail is fluffy. Now we get to do the fun part. We're going to start to add some spots. And I'm going to use my marker to draw in some spots. And this might take a few minutes, so I'm going to speed my video up a little bit. And you can draw your spots. we go. So I'm finishing up my spots. Now it's really starting to look like a giraffe. I'm super excited about my drawing here. I'm going to add a few more spots, and I'm going to do a couple on the tail. And I want to put my giraffe in an environment and still show some more movement, because this is about movement and energy in my illustration. So I'm going to draw some grass. I'm going to use curved lines for the grass so that it looks like it's creating music, and he's dancing to this movement. I'm going to add a moon up here too, and maybe a few more curved lines to show movement and energy. And I'm going to draw a few little stars in here. You can make whatever you like for your background. And now I'm going to start to color it in. So I'm just going to finish up coloring around my moon. I'm not going to do the whole sky, but you're welcome to do all around your little giraffe here. Well, I hope that you enjoyed this project of Giraffes Can't Dance, although our giraffes definitely can dance. We studied a principle of art today called movement to create a look or a feeling of action and energy in our art. I hope that you enjoyed it, and looking forward to seeing you all next time in the art room. Bye, everyone.